Hey Pond Peeps, Bill from Pondman here. You know, we do a lot of service and maintenance here at Pondman. One of the most common complaints we have is people call up and say they have a leak. That's what we've got here. The waterfall's leaking. It's not leaking a lot, but enough to be a problem. I'm going to show you one of the ways we diagnose where the leak is. Step one, you got to get your material so you can do this. I like to use a flexible PVC pipe. Here we've got 1.5 inch flexible PVC pipe and a piece of 2 inch flexible. Now we've got a couple PVC fittings. All this stuff easily obtainable at one of the big box shops like a Home Depot, Lowe's, that type of store. Okay, here's a PVC 2 inch thread to slip. We're going to use this to actually thread into the top of the waterfall. This is a 2 inch elbow PVC also. Sometimes I use 45, sometimes 90s. I know on this particular job, this one will fit perfect. This is a 2 inch to 1.5 inch reducer. I use this to adapt from the original plumbing to what I'm going to be using. I'm using 1.5 inch flexible PVC. I could just as easily use 2 inch, but I have this on hand, so it's going to work fine. Okay, we know the leak is in this waterfall. Now we got to figure out what section of the waterfall it's leaking in. How we're going to determine what section the waterfall is leaking is we're going to put our PVC plumbing in the top and in a specific section of the waterfall. When using this technique to find a leak, the first thing we have to do is actually turn the water off. This one here, all we got to do is unplug it. There you go. Okay, now that we have the water off, what we're going to do is clean out the filter material out of this biofalls here so that we can get to the plumbing. Now that I have this out, I can see the actual fitting. From there, I need to actually get my plumbing ready to connect to it. I'm going to cut my 2 inch tubing and I'm going to glue it inside my fitting. I'll always get a glue that is a PVC glue because if it leaks, I won't be able to determine what's leaking. This is a typical PVC glue job. You have to hold it for a minute or two, and there we go. What I'm gonna do is actually screw this piece in there so I can get my adapter and my new hose on it. That one's in. Next step, I'm going to glue these fittings onto the piece I just put in. My reducer first. Now I'll put my glue in my fitting. I'm going to slip the fitting on the pipe. Holding it. There. Okay, now that's ready for the pipe. This is the final piece that I have to glue to do my testing. I'm going to take this 1.5 inch PVC tubing and glue it to the pieces I already installed. Good. Okay, here's the result of what I just done. Now, instead of my water going through my filter, it comes out through my pipe, and I can determine where it goes at the end of the pipe. So now I'm going to turn the waterfall back on by plugging it in. Now, what this does, this makes the water coming out at the end. I can determine where the waterfall starts now. And because I can determine where it starts, I can determine the area the leak is in. I start at the bottom of the waterfall and let it run. And then tomorrow, in the morning, I will call the customer and ask him if the water has gone down. If the water hasn't gone down, I know the leak is above my pipe now. And I will have him raise the pipe up the waterfall 3 feet. If the water level has gone down, I know the leak is in this bottom section of the waterfall that I stopped in. So now I can dismantle this and fix it without having to dismantle the whole thing. Okay guys, maybe what I just said didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's try it a different direction. What we're trying to do is determine what area of the waterfall is leaking. So instead of having the water cover the whole waterfall, where I would be guessing where it is, now I only have the water in a certain section of the waterfall. Now if it leaks, I know the leak is in that section. And if it doesn't, I raise it to a new section and do the same test again. All right guys, that's gonna wrap up this tutorial. I hope you liked it and I hope it was helpful. If you did, please share it and go on over there and subscribe.